Hi there everyone, Jack here again at the Vinyl Voyage. So over the last couple of weeks I've really enjoyed all the entries around the Acid Archives thread. If you don't know the Acid Archives, it was a book that was released that compiles together all these rare and private press US and Canadian albums from the kind of mid-60s. I think it's from about 66 up to the early 80s. Lots of psych, heavy rock, blues rock, psych folk, lots of rare stuff basically, and there's been loads of videos going around covering the albums that are in the book. And I thought, you know something, I'm going to put together my own entry. I'd like to do a few of them. So the album I'm going to show, I don't think it's been shown yet as part of the Acid Archives. I showed it briefly during my vinyl tag, and it is the album Mantra, self-titled soul album by the French-Canadian band out of Montreal. This was released in 1970 on the MC&C 301 label. So this was like a really small little French-Canadian label that specialised in fiddle and kind of French-Canadian folk music. And I believe the label only put out about 20 albums, and the Mantra album is the only one that kind of went outside the sphere of traditional French-Canadian folk music. But yeah, fantastic album. It is folky itself, but with like a kind of little tinge of psych. I picked this album up about 2 years ago in a collection, and when I picked it up, I wasn't familiar with Mantra at all. I'd never heard of them, but when I saw the album cover, straight away I knew that I would like it. Um, I absolutely love that front cover. It's so striking with the black and white photography, with the sun coming through the branches of that tree, and then this really bold typeface and that really bold orange. It just really stands out. But I knew that I would enjoy the album, and as soon as I listened to it, I absolutely loved it. But the collection as a whole was really nice. There was lots of Netherbeat. There was Psych from around the world. Some nice stuff on John Peel's Dandelion label. It was a nice little collection, but this was definitely the kind of the cherry on top. This was the creme de la creme. So looking at the back cover then, that really cool picture of members of the band, but there wasn't just three guys in the band. It wasn't a three-piece. You had Darcy Draper on 12-string, 6-string and vocals, Dick Kelder on 6-string and vocals, Pierre Fateau bass and vocals, then Graham Lennox, piano, tambourine and auto harp, Dave Walls on percussion, Larry Douglas on steel guitar, and Roger Landreville on Jew's harp. They call it here Joe harp. But I think that back cover, it gives a little bit of a insight into the hierarchy within the band, because as well as it's a 7 piece, you only see pictures of 3 of them, and I believe Darcy Draper was the kind of leader of the band. He was the only one that went on to do anything in music after this album. He's got a solo album from 72. I can't remember the name of it. I'll put it up here, but it's really nice as well, a nice acoustic album. You've got Dick Kelder here and Pierre Fateau here. But yeah, you can see from the instruments that they use, there's nothing electric. It is a purely acoustic album, and a really beautiful sounding acoustic album at that. The album's peppered with a number of instrumentals, and it kicks off with an instrumental, Hopscotch Part 1, written by the bassist Dick Kelder, who writes all the instrumentals throughout the album. But it's only very short. It's just over a minute long, and it's a kind of finger-picked country blues. It's nice. It's a kind of quirky number that sets the tone for the album. Then you've got Simple Joys, written by Darcy Draper, and that is very, very Simon and Garfunkel influenced. It's a really beautiful ballad. Again, really nice little finger-picked ballad with these different layers of acoustic instruments. But the backing vocals, when they come in, it just really, really sounds like the Boxer. It's a cool song. Then you've got Stay, which is probably the most psych folk song on the album, again written by Darcy Draper, and that's again lovely finger picking guitar, an absolutely beautiful melody with that little psych tinge. It's got a nice little line in the song that goes, "Open your arms to the world, and the world will open its arms to you." Fantastic hippie sentiments. Then you've got another instrumental, Hopscotch Part 2, which is a bit of a continuation of the opening track with the nice finger-picking country blues, but with the added Jews harp as well. Again, it's really short. And then you've got another beautiful ballad to finish the first side, Tomorrow Without You, which is really, really nice. So before I go on to side 2, I'll just quickly show you that label. There it is there, that's that M&C 301 label, French-Canadian. Really nice and clean, this copy. So side 2 really kicks off where side 1 had finished. It continues with that consistent, lovely finger-picking acoustic guitar sound, beautiful melodies, and it opens up with the song Drifter. And that really reminds me of the TV show The Littlest Hobo. It really, really wouldn't be out of place with the wee dog walking off into the sunset. You could have Drifter playing in the background. Beatrice is up next. That's like a kind of bit more of a melancholy number, but really, really nice as well. Then you've got Hopscotch Part 3. That's the third of those instrumentals by the bass player, Dick Kelder. But it's a little bit more upbeat. This one, it's got barroom piano in it as well, and the Jews harp's been ramped up as well, so it's got a bit more of a kind of barroom feel. Again, it's just short. It's probably roughly about 45 seconds to a minute long. Then you've got Midnight Train, which is a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more country rock again. Kind of think in the vein of like early Buffalo Springfield, something off that self-titled first album by the Springfield. Then you've got San Francisco Morning, another Darcy Draper one, and that's, again, just a beautiful acoustic song. And it kind of reminds me that one of, you know, the kind of acoustic songs off of the Moby Grape first album. So something like Naked If I Want To or 805. It's got that kind of hippie, kind of acoustic vibe to it, mellow. The whole album's really, really mellow. There's nothing that really gets the heart racing. Everything's just kind of calming and chilled out, but it's really nice. And then it finishes with another nice kind of longer instrumental with Dick's song by Dick Kelder. But yeah, absolutely beautiful. The album as a whole, I absolutely love this. I've listened to it so many times. It's just a really mellow, chilled out album that you can just let wash over you. And I'm really lucky that I got such a clean copy, because being a very acoustic, well, a completely acoustic based album, if you didn't get a good copy of this, I think the hiss would ruin it, would just overpower it. But because it's so quiet, it just sounds absolutely fantastic. It's really, really nice. I'm surprised it's not been reissued yet, because it is really a beautiful album, really easy to get into, really nice songs on it. And I'd love to get the Darcy Draper solo album that he did after this, but again, it's really expensive. You're talking £200-300 for a copy of it. But happy that I've got this one, and a great addition to the Acid archives. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give us a like. Any comments, I'd love to hear them. And if you'd like to subscribe, then please do. And until the next time, we'll see you later. Bye for now.